chapter 532, Everything But the Rain, op.5, The White Noise. So the chapter begins right where it left off. Isshin gets cut from behind by Sosuke Aizen, who happens to have stolen Urahara's Ryatsu cloak. Well, sure, okay, he didn't technically steal it. He actually made it after seeing Urahara use it for the first time and modifying it by adding Kido into it. Yeah, he's still a freaking copycat. Stole that from Urahara. Shame. So Isshin knew that attack that he felt from behind was not from a hollow, but from a Zanpakuto. So he assumed that it was a Shinigami. Since Aizen and Ichimaru learned that Isshin figured out that it wasn't from a hollow, it looks like that they aren't going to attack, and it looks like that they were going to leave. Or, yeah, do nothing, I guess. Now we do get to learn a little bit more of Isshin's Bankai. Apparently, his Bankai produces immense Ryatsu, immense pressure, but it could also be serious damage to his body, especially now with that wound of his. So he couldn't be able to use his Bankai when he fought against that hollow. And according to him, if that hollow couldn't even beat a captain using his Shikai, then that hollow would be merely a failure and they would just have to go back to the drawing board. However, Kaname seems to be offended that the hollow is being called a guinea pig or a test subject. And he says that it should be called Whitey. Whitey. But there is a reason to this. It's because that this hollow was created from the soul of the Shinigami. So they technically used the soul of the Shinigami and manifested it into this black hollow. Hence why it was called Whitey, because, you know, it's white on the inside even though it's black on the outside. Makes sense, but wouldn't that technically mean that this hollow would be kind of like an Arankar? Since, you know, it is based off a Shinigami's soul. And also, what kind of Shinigami did they even use to make this hollow? So back with Isshin, he's still struggling fighting the hollow with that new wound of his. And it looks like we are not going to see his Bankai, which is kind of a shame because I actually am intrigued that what his Bankai could be, since we know that Engetsu is not really like Zangetsu, it's also like a fire sword. But I guess we'll probably wait until he enters the battlefield when the Shinigami face off against the Vandenreich. Most likely. So Isshin was struggling against this hollow and he managed to evade one of his massive attacks. However, the hollow used Sonido or Flash Depth, or here in Kyaku. It's basically the same thing, honestly. So to head up towards Isshin to attack him. However, Isshin, he does something weird. He like grabs the blood from his wound and like puts it near his face or on his mouth, I'm not sure. And he was able to exhale flames onto his Engetsu, creating like this massive sword of flame thing. Honestly, I had no idea what the hell it is. All I know is that Engetsu is completely consumed by fire, and he's got this massive fire attack thing. I don't know like what he did or if this is like one of his Shikai's abilities, but it looks freaking awesome. He uses that to attack the hollow, but only manages to like cut off one of the hollow's arms. Meanwhile, Masaki actually arrived at the scene and she actually sees the hollow and Isshin attacking up in the sky. So despite the hollow's arm being cut off, he attacks Isshin once again, but Isshin manages to block it with Engetsu. But the hollow, he was about to launch a Sero at Isshin, but he was saved by Masaki because she launched Quincy arrows at the hollow. We get to see her bow and arrow. It's just, you know, it's a basic design, a basic spirit bow. Now, meanwhile, with Aizen and others, apparently they weren't planning to leave. They were just watching the sidelines, seeing if this hollow can actually kill Isshin. And apparently there was a hitch in Aizen's plan because he wasn't expecting a Quincy to come into the scene and try to attack the hollow. Now, Kaname was about to go and try to eliminate her, but Aizen's like, wait, let's see how things turn out. And he's got this like smile on his face, like it's like his birthday or his Christmas has come early, and he was like really intrigued of what's happening, even though he wasn't expecting a Quincy. So the Hollow decides to attack Masaki instead of Isshin, and Isshin tried to follow after it, but I think his leg was injured because he couldn't be able to move so fast. I wasn't really sure. So Masaki tries to launch a couple more Quincy arrows at the Hollow, but the Hollow manages to dodge them all. So what Masaki decides to do is like drop the bow or deactivate it. I'm not really sure, and let the Hollow come towards her. And the Hollow is like opening up his mouth and then takes a bite out of her on her shoulder. Although her plan could have been flawed if the Hollow did bite her somewhere vital, like that bite could be fatal to her, like on the neck, maybe on her stomach or on her head. I don't know. But anyway, the Hollow was like on her shoulder. She manages to grab the Hollow's head, and then she's got this like small bow and arrow on her other hand, or a Quincy gun. I'm gonna believe that it's a gun. And she's like, perfect, you fell for it. And then boom, headshot, blasts the Hollow's head, and that is where the chapter ends. So what did I think about this chapter? This was actually pretty good. Misaki honestly was the one that stole this chapter from me because she was awesome in this. I mean, sure, she got bitten by the Hollow, but she managed to like blast a hole in on the Hollow's head with that small bow and arrow. I thought that was freaking awesome. She was actually pretty badass with this. She must be quite a strong Quincy in order to do this, but which was weird because she was from earlier she was struggling with the holy training at the Ishida residence. So was she this strong as a Quincy before? And it still doesn't explain like how she died when she faced off against Grand Fisher. That is still has to be explained. Now about the Hollow. Yeah, this is a lot of speculation going on, but since this Hollow was manifested from the soul of the Shinigami, and it was called Whitey. Now, if we remember back, Ichigo's Hollow, Shirosaki, whatever you want to call it, he was completely white in Ichigo's Shinigami outfit. So it's possible that this Hollow really is Shirosaki, Ichigo's Hollow. But this still doesn't explain like how Ichigo got that Hollow, if that Hollow before it attacked Masaki and Isshin. I guess it was said, maybe it's possible that Masaki somehow absorbed the Hollow's essence into her and then transferred it to Ichigo, because I guess from that wound, because that Hollow bit her, that probably would explain it. Which again, still it confirms Ichigo's full bring powers, but it also explains Ichigo's Hollow powers. I guess that would make sense. Not to mention how it really looks like the Vastalordis form that Ichigo went through. Not to mention his arms looks kind of similar to Zangetsu. So yeah. Now I know that after this, Masaki is going to meet Isshin and try to heal him, but we don't know whether this Hollow is really dead or not. And I guess what Aizen and the others are going to do, I guess they'll just leave knowing that this Hollow was a failure and I guess go back to square one or something, I don't know. But as for like Isshin and Masaki, their story is still continuing. I don't think the flashbacks are done at this moment. We'll probably get to see them meeting for the first time and then eventually getting to know each other, their relationship eventually growing into something romantic. But then again, when Isshin probably goes back to Soul Society, Yamamoto is going to be pissed at him because, you know, he went to the world of the living without his permission, and he has to deal with probably the Shiba clan as well, and the fact that he was saved by a Quincy, that probably will not go well with him at the 13 Court Guard squads and also with the Shiba clan. But then again, there's probably more to this than just that, and then them falling in love, and then they're forbidden to beat each other, so they're like, to hell with it, we're just gonna leave. There's probably more to this. I was actually looking forward to seeing Ryuken's spirit armor, but I don't think we're gonna be able to see that, unfortunately. But, you know, these flashbacks, I don't think they're over yet. We'll probably see more of Isshin and Masaki's eventual relationship and what they have to go through because, you know, with the Shiba clan and the Quincy's and of course Soul Society. And I guess, and hopefully we'll get to see like how Isshin was exiled and why he never had his Shinigami powers before until until that one time he fought against Grand Fisher. And I really want to know is like why Masaki never used her Quincy powers, like I guess ever since she had her family. Because if she was that strong with Quincy, she would definitely have been able to take down Grand Fisher. So overall, this chapter was really great. Lots of action. We get to learn a couple of things about Isshin and the Hollow. And the flashbacks, I highly doubt they're over yet. There's probably still more to come. So yeah, that is Bleach chapter 532. I'm Lunar Spiral 27, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.